Hello, Gen Z. Now, my Gen Z, I'm dividing you into two parts. The ones on the left, I will leave them behind because they are unteachable. They cannot understand a thing. And the one on the right side will be my partners. So now I'm talking you to my partners. Look, the word part means you are part of me. I'm very impressed because if you look at this video, it is between 4 months from this video and the last one I did. 4 months. And remember, I have numbered my videos so that you could be referring them to when you are talking and discussing. For 4 months, I was interacting. I went to Ethiopia and other places, up to Migori. I was doing interaction there, and other people were coming to me. I had delegates from South Sudan, from Rwanda, who are my partners, in that they listen to me and they understand me. Today, it's like I'm starting all over again because it is after 4 months of break. And today is 11th October 2025. 11th October 2025 is this day I've started talking again. And in this year of 2025, 3 prominent Luos have left this world. Well, they have died. 3 prominent ones. So that I take this opportunity to talk about political inheritance, where you die as a politician and your place is taken by another person, or in any field. You see, it is the African culture that once a father dies, the son takes over the land and takes over other things. Now, there is this people who have died. There is Dalmas Otieno. If you can Google, you can see the date he died. It is actually September of this month, of this year, Dalmas Otieno. He was very controversial because at one time, actually he lost his political career because of going against the king of the Luo, the de facto king of the Luo, Raila Odinga. The other one who has died this year of the Luo Nation. Remember, I'm talking about the Luo Nation because there is this Kikuyu prophet Mogo wa Kefiro, who said that the Kikuyu will be enslaved by the Luo, meaning they will be lured by a people from a small lake of eagles. I have talked that in other videos. And some people don't believe it. They know it is true, but they don't want to believe in the truth. That is how the Kikuyu are. Remember, I'm a reject king. I'm a prophet of God, sent to the Kikuyu to remind them what they were told by God through the same prophet, Mogo Kefiro, that you, the Kikuyu, when you come to know yourself and return to the God of your fathers, that is the time you'll get the government, the kingdom. Right now you think you can get your own kingdom, but look, behold, already you are divided. There are people now for Uhuru Kenyatta, who is fronting Matiang'i, Professor Matiang'i, to me a fool, and because I am a professor, so I know who is wise and who is not a wise man. And Professor Matiang'i is not a wise man to be fronted by Uhuru Kenyatta. That shows how desperate the Kikuyu are, trying to grab anywhere to look for somebody to lead them. Blind people, they have rejected me, but I'll be their king, wapende wasipende. Look, I'm digressing. To remind you that before I was talking about Gachagua, I was fighting Gachagua, and Gachagua fooled Matiang'i that he'll make him king, and fooled Kalonzo that he'll make them king. When they came round to him, he actually declared himself the king, and they left him behind. So that now, it's like I have finished that guy. That guy I think I have finished him. He cannot be the president. He was saying, oh, one term. How can he say one term when Raila had said 2 terms? In fact, Ruto is going for that term. The Kenyans are very forgetful, and you are not very wise to be forgetful. Remember when Uhuru was taken almost in chains to The Hague over the riots, which was almost civil war, where many people were killed. He left Ruto sitting on the throne. However many days, however few days, he was the de facto president of Kenya, his first term. The second term is now, where he is sitting on that presidency, the second time. And here, the blind Gachagua goes and tells the youth to go and say, oh, one term, oh, one term. I mean, we are being led, the Kikuyu are being led by the blind. And Jesus said this, when the blind are led by a blind, they, all of them, fall into the pit. The pit of the Kikuyu is hardship, economic hardship. Economic hardship. Because when you're not in the government, your property will be taken from you. That is my stand. You, the Kikuyu, if you decide to say, oh, you are fooled by democracy, which I call democracy, and you give your kingdom to anybody at all, so that if a monkey should come over and the IMF clothes it in human clothes and give you money, because IMF has money, you will vote that monkey in human dress as your president. That's how stupid the Kikuyu has become. And more stupid so, they do not understand what is a king. They do not understand kingship. This is how they are divided. Uhuru Kenyatta with Matiang'i on one side, Gachagua on the other side, Mother Karua on the other side. Now, when we talk about Mother Karua, when the plan of Uhuru Kenyatta was that he could see some of these things, you just open your eyes and see a dying person. So they supported this man, the Luo king, Raila Odinga, so that when he dies, because they could see it was very obvious he's dying, then the Kikuyu girl, in quote, girl, Mother Karua will take over so that they continue the rulership. However, Gachagua destroyed all that by supporting Ruto. And he succeeded, only for him to be swallowed by Ruto when he was kicked out of the government, thinking that now he would be a very powerful man. In fact, now, this man Gachagua is being driven to political wilderness, where he stands nowhere. He's not in the position, neither is he in the government. This is how I digress, to make people understand. Today, I'm talking about death. So because everybody is heading there, I myself am heading there, everybody is heading there, but we delay death. How do we delay death? By taking medicines. What kind of medicines? The chemicals are good for you. And the Bible says, no, if you look at the linear translation of Revelations chapter 21 and verse 8, linear revelation, it calls that what you say, urogi, sorcerers, it is what the word they interpret is pharmacoia. Go and look for it. Because now I have left the Gen Z who are drunkards, the Gen Z who are taking useless people. I'm not their grandfather again. I am now the grandfather to the elitist grandsons Gen Z. And these are the ones that I'm teaching. That when I am talking about Abel, Professor Abel, because we knew him as one who discovered the herbs which treat HIV. Those days, HIV was what was killing a lot of people. And politics was brought to him until he went to oblivion, until he was being buried. What do you say, that kind of absence? Death. When you are not participating in the society, you are called dead. And this is why I said I'm not going to die just because I left the university teaching there political science, governmental studies, and ethics. I'm putting up my hand and continue to teach political science, government, and the ethics that is found in the Bible and the Quran. This is why I teach the two books together. Now, let us talk about Dalmas Otieno, who died physically into disintegrating into bees the soil where man is taken from. The complaint of his wife is there in the internet, where the wife is saying that her biggest problem was this Dalmas Otieno with girls. Even saying that at one point there was one girl that had made him go crazy. And she was telling, bring her home then. Don't behave like this. Well, such a behavior is condemned both in the Bible and the Quran. So you cannot tell somebody not to run after doing something which God says don't, when they don't recognize God who gives life. I want you to understand that Dalmas Otieno was very gifted as a politician, but he was not the king. So when he opposed Raila Odinga, that was the death of his political career. He did not wake up again. Now, he died in September. Let us talk about Professor Bell. What herbs did he use? There is a herb which scientifically you can find, which is called Albizia coriaria. Yes, Albizia coriaria. There is another Albizia, which is called Albizia adventitica. That is for removing the worms. And then Albizia coriaria, he would mix those things. Anyway, what is interesting is that there is a herb, which even today's Mingisan, a lot of it in the Luo land, which is called aber. Aber is, if you look at the internet, what is aber? It is Albizia coriaria, and you find it in abundance, not in Kikuyu land, but in Jaluo land. And that's why we want people to be going to where they want to go, so that because the Lord does not know about this Albizia coriaria. They know about it, but they don't know even how it is used. But this man, Professor Aber, used that herb called Aber in the lowland and mixed it in a way that could treat HIV and AIDS. He therefore brought war against himself at his young age until he went into oblivion. He was not remembered. He was like dead. In fact, we came to know that he was alive when he was being buried. Now, there is this thing about Raila'S death. Now, Raila'S death is as controversial as he was when he was living. What do I say controversial? Because you see, the kind of politics that this Luo king was bringing is something which we call monkey business. Monkey business is where a monkey gets hold of your child and goes to on a tree and tells you to put food there so that when it comes down and eat and you must have disappeared, whatever remains is when your child will eat. We call it in political science monkey politics. That is what Raila was praying. And you see, he was succeeding, but he was making his people, those followers of him, to be shot, to be killed, to be maimed during the riots that he was known to be very gifted at. You know, it's something that he inherited from his father, because his father would if you look in the internet, it's there. He would actually shout at Kenyatta when he was the president. Shouting at the Kenyatta. When Kenyatta is the king, Bwana, of the country, there's Luo father of Raila would actually confront him. And Kenyatta said, look, I'm going there. Fucking bastard, I'm going there. And Kenyatta, you see, Kenyatta was the older rulers like I am. I am like Kenyatta in my rulership, and therefore I can't survive in direct rulership during this time of softness. When he went there, and he was being shouted at, and the young men were encouraged even to throw stones at the dais where the president is. That is what they were expecting. And his people were gunned down. Many children died. Many innocent children died. Will you blame Kenyatta or will you blame Raila? It's a question in political science. That why do you go against a king to the detriment of other people? It means you are a blind king. You are a blind leader, leading people, your people, into the pit, like Jesus said you would, because they're also blind. Now, there is what is called inheritance in political science, and not just in politics. Inheritance is actually the core of the African. Like the other day, I had a big delegation. You people know that I treat this called hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid, it's called internal piles in the medical science. And the guys who are treating through the Western medicine, they only know how to cut it out, but it returns. Cut it out, returns. At the end of the day, they remove your excrement through the side, and you don't live many days. So I know how to use the herbs from Ethiopia that when you take, it shrinks and it dies. So I have many clients from South Sudan. So when they heard that Raila had died, they knew that because I'm older than Raila, I'm about to die. So they brought a delegation and told me, look, Babu, you must give us a hair. Somebody is to start teaching now so that you will be treating us when we come here. They come all the way, by the way. You see, we say that a prophet is not known in his own country, amongst his people, of course, but other people will come. I had people coming from Rwanda. I have people coming from Southern Sudan. But listen, I tell you, you don't have to come to me. You stay with your hemorrhoid, internal piles. Why should you kill Mr. Big Pharma? Kill somebody for treating with herbs something you cannot treat unless you cut. That shows how wicked you are. So, I want to introduce you to those two deaths, and the death of Raila Omoro. And the death of Raila is as controversial as his living. Because I said that when you are not seen, you are dead. According to the African, not just even the African, it's according to the understanding. Remember, when Netanyahu, that fake Israeli people led by Netanyahu, and they wanted to take the Gaza from the real Israelites who are confronting as Arabs, as Palestinians, but that one is a topic we'll come to, and they wanted to take that land. And they made 7th October something to make them now clear away the Palestinians. The guys that were funded to do that were called Hamas, an organization of the Palestinians called Hamas. And Netanyahu would say that every Hamas man walking is a walking dead man. Walking. So we talk about a dead person who is walking. So how much more when somebody disappears and goes underground, we say they are dead. Don't you understand that there is this figure of speech which we use? Baba Joani, if you go to Haligam, you find a people who shave their hand. They are called Baba Joani people or Gospel of God. They were told by, in fact, he came with them. Baba Joani came with those Zimbabweans and told them, stay here because this is where salvation is. He left them. I don't say he died. And even today, in fact, Uhuru Kenyatta really helped them become citizens. Now they are citizens. He used to teach like this. I'm prone to their teaching because I was part of them. And he said that Baba John used to say that when you do not have the heart of a man, your heart is of a beast. So you can have either the heart of a beast or the heart of man. And the heart of God is a God of those whose souls are men's souls. He is not a God of a people whose souls are of a beast. They behave like a beast. Like the Israel, Netanyahu of Israel was killing those people beastly. Then God is not for such people. And then he said, they are dead in his own eyes. In God's eyes, they are dead. They are dead. So, and God is not for those who are dead. He is the God of the living, just like God himself is living. Well, I have a seat here because you see, at my age, I get tired quickly. And I did not even finish about this Professor Bell's death and Raila Odinga's death. But what I will come to talk about is about the inheritance of Ida, Raila's wife, when Raila dies. The Luos already are fighting over her. And they are actually injuring one another, that it is me who will inherit her, no, it is me. Let me rest a bit. And then I'll come and talk about the inheritance of Ida Raila. Because I know her, because she was a very good geography teacher. In my days, she was a geography teacher, and we used to respect her very much. That's the time we realized that a teacher is very important, because all her class would pass that geography. Anyway, let me rest. I'm coming back. Thank you very much.